Good morning, and welcome to episode 2 of 5K training. It is a little after 6:30 in the morning, Monday. Got a very easy, just sort of recovery pace run on the docket for today. Got a nice early start with some work. Week 2 of 5K training should be an interesting one. If you didn't see last week's episode, you can check that out in this episode's end cards, but just got off to a nice start with 2 workouts that week. Unboxed the updated, newest version of the Stride Foot Pod, talked about Coros and the fitness test, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more this week. Excited to get another week of 5K training under the belt. A little over a mile into today's easy recovery day run, begrudgingly listening to some sports talk podcasts talking about the Sixers. Absolutely embarrassing loss last night, but weather's really nice this morning. Can't complain too incredibly much. I do enjoy a nice, easy recovery day run because not every easy run is just mindlessly putting one foot in front of the other. I certainly think days like this where I'm currently 9-minute mile pacing and my heart rate's hovering right around 120. There are days for this, but it's not every day where you're not doing a workout. I don't think that just because you're not doing a long run workout, for instance, that it should be at complete easy recovery pace for you. I've read it in a lot of the reading I've done on training, aerobic training specifically, marathon training, that when it comes to some of your easy days and specifically your long run, that there is a place for steady running, for moderate running. Those paces, those heart rates that are at the very top end, either aerobic or quote unquote easy pace capacity. So for instance, yesterday with my long run, 7:56 average mile pace, most of the miles were in the 7:40s. I found my heart rate right at 147, 148, sort of peaking at like 150 on some of those miles. And that's a great way to get used to more intentional stride, more intentional leg speed without taxing your aerobic system too much, your anaerobic system, and continuing to develop your base. So yes, I do love a very easy recovery pace run like today, but I don't think this is the only kind of easy run that, at least for me, I should be doing, because I see a lot of fitness gain a lot quicker, a lot of general fitness benefit when I inject some of those more steady, moderate paces into some of my easy runs. That doesn't mean every easy run is at a steady pace, but it is worth looking at including. So in essence, the wider variety of speeds and paces that you can get used to, become accustomed to, while still sort of firmly planted in that aerobic zone, the better you're going to be prepared, the more accustomed to sort of going through the gears you're going to be throughout your training. And that's just my own personal opinion, Your training is up to you. On the home stretch for Monday recovery run, there are the splits. Kept the heart rate nice and controlled throughout. Definitely progressed a little bit as found a little bit more life in my legs, but overall successful recovery run day. It is a beautiful Tuesday, sun is out, cool breeze, birds are singing. Yet another day for first workout of the week. Another 5K workout on deck. Looking at 6 by a K at hopefully 5K race pace. Probably try to work my way into this one, sort of ease into it. Definitely longer than the 300 meter reps last week. Just want to make sure I'm ready, sort of have a good workout. But yeah, got the Brooks Hyperion tempos on the feet. They've definitely broken in well. I can only imagine that the new ones feel even better with more of this awesome foam underfoot. About 3 miles of warm up done, just over 26 minutes. About 8.5 minute mile pace. Just getting some stretching, some dynamic movements to prepare for these 1K reps. 2-minute jog rest in between each rep. So let's see how this goes. All right, rep number 1, we're moving.
Got about 90 seconds left. Recovery after rep 1. Came in a 5:58 pace. Definitely trying to ease into finding that effort over directly targeting a steadfast pace. As soon as I mentioned that cool breeze during my warm-up, seemed to have disappeared. It's now just a hot sun, so we'll dial in that effort again. Just try to find what it feels like for 5K. Keep it rolling. Rep number 2. Rep number 2, right over, it was like 5:50, 5:51 pace for that second K. Man, running fast is tough. We're gonna keep doing it. Gotta recover. Third rep, low 550s again. It was like 5:53, 5:52. Definitely finding it hard to maintain this effort, but we're digging. That is all 6 reps. Seriously considered bagging that last rep to not overreach too much, because again, I got a lot hotter as I was out here, and those paces, those efforts felt like they were being multiplied with each rep, but kept it together for the last rep. Managed to keep it right at 550, which, you know, plus or minus 2-3 seconds was sort of what I was aiming for. Keep it in that sort of 5:45 to 5:55 range. Yeah, I'm happy I dug deep for that last one. 2-minute jog recoveries on the last 2 reps turned into walking for a minute and then jogging for a minute, but yeah, can't complain about that. Felt good, felt smooth for most of them, but digging out that last like 200 meters each rep was just rough. Warm up 6 by a K with 2-minute jog is done at a little short of 8 miles right now. So I think I'm gonna go ahead, cool down to 10 miles, get a double-digit count on the day. Another good workout on the old hilly neighborhood loop.
Good morning. It is Friday morning and it is very early. Just been up to normal non-workout day types of things these past 2 days. Wednesday, I did an 8-mile, very slow recovery run. I think the average was somewhere a little bit faster than 9-minute miles, like 8:50 a mile or something. Kept things low and slow. For that day, I also did my normal strength routine that day. And then yesterday, Thursday morning, did a nice easy run. Came out at about 8:20 a mile. Again, heart rate was looking low, so might be good signs of acquiring some more fitness here. I also did my core routine yesterday. Tried to keep things light, tried to just generally prepare for today like any other workout, but there's a bit of an emphasis in terms of specificity with today's workout because we are doing the Coros fitness test. I didn't see a ton of people talking about this with the new Coros update that if you use Coros, you've probably seen at this point, but things look different. They also offer this new feature, the Coros fitness test, very similar to a ramp test where it is sort of taking you through the gears, the paces, seeing sort of what you're capable of on a pretty wide spectrum of efforts, claims to give you a much more accurate portrayal of your current fitness, race predictors, that kind of thing. On my training schedule for today, and again, the 5K plan I am using is the one from Fitzinger's Faster Road Racing, the same guy who wrote Advanced Marathoning. I had a 25-minute tempo run on the agenda, and the Coros fitness test is a 5-minute warm-up with a 25-minute steady run, which looks to be somewhere in the range of my marathon pace or marathon effort. And then without any rest, it immediately goes into a 3-minute effort at what appears to be sort of like threshold-ish pace, and then another 3-minute effort, which appears to be like 10K down into 5K pace. So it's really the same as what I was scheduled to do for today in terms of my workout, with those added 3-minute segments on the end. I saw Ben Johnson talked about doing this. If you on Instagram in the running community, you probably know who Ben Johnson is. And he said it felt like a pretty brutal 5K type of effort. And that is a bit daunting, but you know what? We're going to do it anyway. Seems like a fun workout. So that is the goal. Let's see how this goes.
Right, we are en route to our location. Coros, this whole test specifies that it's probably most conducive, most productive to do the session on flat terrain. And as you've heard me talk about in previous training videos, my community does not know what flat terrain really means. So tried to sort of scope out a flat-ish loop that is semi-nearby. At the location, seems like it will it will work. I think it's about a 1/4 mile long, a loop that wraps around this little baseball park. Gonna warm up 2 miles because the fitness test itself only includes a 5-minute warm up, which I don't think is all that substantial for this type of thing. Not really adequate. And then we'll get started with this fitness test. Two-mile warm-up in the bag. Kept things nice and easy. Heart rate in the 130s. Currently doing now the 5-minute warm-up for the test itself. One selection screen for it, which displays remaining time as well as my effort pace and my heart rate. So we'll see if that changes with each section. But yeah, 5-minute warm-up, 25 minutes steady, 3 minutes threshold, 3 minutes 5K. So I'm in the 25-minute steady running part. It's all going by effort pace. There's no real-time pace screen, which is interesting. So just trying to stay in the range of pretty much 6:30 to 7 minutes flat for this section. Looks like I'm at about 6:45 right now. Heart rate's right at 160, so we'll see how this steady running portion goes for 25 minutes. I don't love that it is just effort paced. About halfway done with the steady portion. Really don't know what pace I'm going. I know my effort pace has been pretty much between 6:30 and like 7 flat the whole time, but I guess on a pretty flat loop, that's pretty much what it is. All right, about 15 seconds until we switch over to the 3-minute threshold efforts. Things have been smooth for now. Getting kind of tired of the loop, but here we go. Ten seconds till this 3-minute section's over. Time for the hard one. Okay, 5-minute cool down. I tried to treat the end like a sprint finish for a 5K. We're getting there, boys, but holy mackerel, that was something else. 25 minutes of like marathon pace running, having no rest, straight into 3 minutes of like 10K pace, having no rest, straight into 3 minutes like 5K pace. Man, it is definitely an experience. If you have a Coros, give this thing a try. Let me know down below if you already have, how you felt about it, what your results were. All right, 5-minute cool down is done. I'm gonna do my own cool down, about 2 or 3 miles, because I want to get a little bit more volume on today. But wish I would have captured that end screen there. As soon as the test ended, it told me my calculated threshold pace, which is pretty much what I was running at before. So it kind of told me what I believed, which means that's good. My instincts are accurate. It told me my threshold heart rate, which is higher than I thought it was. I always thought my threshold heart rate was like in the high 160s, mid-high one, like 167, 168. It says my threshold heart rate is 176. Seems a little high for threshold heart rate, but I've sustained efforts like that for pretty long. I am only 25 years old, so maybe kind of comparing myself to people who might talk about threshold heart rate who are a little older might skew things a little bit, so maybe that's accurate. Max heart rate 195, so good to know that as well. I've definitely seen my heart rate get up to like 190 before, but knowing it's 195 now. Definitely going to break down these results after I cool down. Yeah, eager to see what kind of data came out of this, but that was fun. Any excuse to pull out the alpha flies in the middle of a week is always good.
We are back at the homestead. Overall, I had fun with that workout. In hindsight, I feel like I could have went a little bit harder in each pace range that was provided. You know, being called like the Coros fitness test kind of feels like it has quite a bit of gravity to it, but I sort of just like treated it like any other workout according to the pace ranges that were provided. So maybe I'll give this another shot if another one of my 5K workouts includes sort of like a tempo run type of effort in the near future here in a couple weeks to see like how I've progressed or how I can do this a little differently. Overall, I think it went according to plan. You know, like each segment of that workout, I landed squarely in the pace range it was looking for, and it did give me some updated metrics based on all of that. The first thing that it did, it gave me a score for the fitness test, first of all. And I don't know how that compares or is relative to fitness level. So say somebody who is much faster than me, who is running like 15, 16 minute 5Ks, 32 minute 10Ks is a 2:30 marathon or whatever it might be. I don't know if their fitness test is scored on like a sliding scale according to their fitness level, because I got like, I think a 91 point something, a 92 point something based on what I did. So, that seems decent enough. I don't really know how to judge that though. It also gave me an updated threshold pace, which is pretty much what I thought it was. I have typically run anywhere in like the 620s for my threshold pace. And this gave me 621 as a threshold pace. So I do think that is really useful, especially doing this towards the beginning of a training block. This was only my fourth workout, my fourth quality session of this 5K training block. Doing this fitness test and getting very specific analytics and paces for you to use in your training down the road. Like now I know that I can specifically target 621 for every threshold workout, for every threshold run, every rep that I do at threshold pace from here on out, because that data, according to my effort with like an accurate heart rate measurement on a pretty flat course, it gave me that. So I'm happy to see that. Also gave me a threshold heart rate, which is 176, definitely higher than what I would consider threshold. Maybe that's like a maximum threshold heart rate measurement. I don't really know the explanation behind that. Also gave me a personal max heart rate. I'll have to check my Strava to see what my absolute max heart rate was on this workout. I guarantee it was not 195 because I did not see 195 at all. I saw myself peaking around like the mid 180s. So maybe based on like an absolute best effort in a race type of environment, I could achieve 195. I've personally never seen that. So who knows? Maybe that sort of higher threshold rating is based on that. So beyond that, my only complaint with this workout is that it only displayed effort pace the whole entire time. So you can see that my average pace over the course of the 5-minute warm up, the 5-minute cool down, and then that 25-minute steady, that 3-minute, 10K-ish effort, and then the 3-minute 5K-ish effort. All I saw that whole time was my effort pace, my heart rate, and how much longer that specific rep had in terms of time. So I felt like at times I was running a little bit harder in terms of pace than what is reflected here. It's still like in the range that I thought it would be, but I didn't like not knowing what my pace was at any given time. Effort pace, I guess, is a fine enough metric to sort of tangentially or in a supplementary style include. But if I were to give any feedback to Coros, like, let us see our actual pace on this test, because it was annoying not knowing how fast I was actually going. The actual effort pace for my warm-up, as you can see here, 8:01 effort pace, which isn't really a warm-up pace for me, but that's neither here nor there. I was excited to get started with the workout. The second segment was the first official work section, 25 minutes, and you can see here my average heart rate was 166, 181 cadence, 650 average pace. My average effort pace though was 646. So pretty good. That's kind of where I want to be for a marathon. That's where I have targeted all my previous marathons. That's where I've been for the majority of the race until I have hit a wall. So it's good to see that that felt that good. The second segment here, a 3-minute segment. And you can see there over the course of 3 minutes, pretty much it was an 800 meter rep at like 10K pace. Average heart rate was 178. I was definitely feeling the increased humidity at that point. Had definitely felt that sort of gear change going from what felt like a marathon effort to a 10K effort. Ended up in the 6:09 pace range, effort pace of 6:07. And then that last segment there, pretty much, again, a little further than an 800 meter rep for 3 minutes. Average heart rate of 183 and a average pace of 541, which is pretty much right where I want my 5K pace to be for this upcoming race. Maybe, plus or minus a couple seconds. Effort pace of 536. So according to my effort pace, I thought I was running a little bit faster than that. 541, it's fine. What does this tell me? I don't really know. It did give me new sort of race predictors when it comes to what it thinks I am capable of. Some of my more generous estimates to things that I think are a bit more realistic, except for 5K. I know for a fact that at this moment I could run faster than an 1850. My PR is 1824, which is about like 555 pace. This is saying I could run an 1850 at 604 pace. I think on this very day, I could run faster than 1850. So I don't know about that. Again, these are just predictors based on like the current conditions and workouts and everything. We'll see if that changes organically, sort of the way it did before with Coros, or if you have to do this running test every time to sort of like alter what your race predictions are. 10K, 38:51, that's pretty much what my 10K PB is. I suck at running 10K, so that is perfectly fine. Half marathon at 126, a marathon prediction now of 302, which would be a PB, which I would totally be happy with. I would think that based on this workout, these are definitely more accurate than they were before. At the same time, I don't really know what to think of this running test. Again, I really don't like that it doesn't show you your real-time pace. I guess it's a good exercise in running by feel instead of running by whatever your watch says in terms of pace. But overall, fun workout.
And that's it for this week's episode of 5K training. Gonna hit a easy long run some point this weekend and probably take a rest day on the other day, so I'll throw on the screen whatever I end up doing. But yeah, let me know down below if you have tried the Coros fitness test. Definitely eager to see what other people think about it, and stay tuned for next week's episode. Peace.